All right, we're live for real. We don't have any viewers yet. They'll trickle in, but for anybody watching in the future, I am here working on my interceptors, and I have Cannon Biggs here with me as well. We've been trying to make this work for the last 2 weeks, trying to get this stream going. I don't know if anybody remembers, but he was on my show not that long ago, right? You had just won a GT with Grey Knights.
Won something. Yeah, the first one was a GT. I don't. Yeah. The last couple of months have kind of just blurred together because of so much 40K.
Won so much stuff you can't even remember. That's where you want to be. So anyway, we're gonna be on here until one of us gets tired. I'm Pacific time. Oh wow, we already have a viewer. We have Jonathan is joined us. So anyway, we'll be on here painting models and talking shit until one of us gets tired. But I'm on the Pacific coast and he's on the East coast, so he'll probably get tired first.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he's tired before me. So. A long day of 40K, but I'm excited to talk about some more 40K as I sit around and paint with Q-tips.
You're painting with Q-tips?
Yeah, man. I gotta get you on this train. It's the enamel train. It's great.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So they just look like brown cake right now.
Are you doing streaking grime right now or something?
Yeah, I just sprayed them with some rush streaks, some streaking grime, and now I just hit it with Q-tips.
Yeah, I've got some.
It'll look cool eventually if I can get the lighting right. I get my face out of the picture.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. So you're doing the reductive paint style?
Yeah. So I'll get some base coats on there. Do some little extreme highlights. I guess that's a one way to get the I guess the highlights to pull through. Or you'll do like dark green, but then you'll do like a really light green in the center.
Yep. Your internet. Your crazy swamp, Florida internet is fucking up. Yeah. So when I talked to him last on my show, he told me about this product called Streaking Grime. It's by AK Interactive. It's an enamel paint, and I guess it started.
I'm alive.
There you go. He's back, but not your video. Nope, you're still a weird robot. Anyway, so it used to be used by like World War II and World War I modelers, and to add, grime and streaks and stuff. So I guess 40K painters, they came by, and what you do is you basically soak the whole model, like you just brush it on or airbrush it on. And it's in enamel, so it dries very, very slowly. And then you can take various materials, usually there you go. Now you're back. So you can.
I don't know what's going on, man. I got range extenders to my Wi-Fi, and it's still not doing what I need it to do. So
it's all good, man. It is
all good.
The magic of instantaneous cross-country communication. So. Anyway, so you can take various materials, Q-tips. I've seen folks use paper for like really sharp edges, or like those pieces of fabric you use to like to wipe down glasses, and all of those give like a different look when you rub them over the model. And the streaking grime will fall into all those cracks and crevices, and they'll really like make all the like all the recesses like really dark, really like stark, and that makes the rest of the model like pop out. And because it's enamel, you can work really slowly. Like you don't have to, rush like you do with acrylics. So it's definitely a thing. Like I bought a pot right after you talked about it with me last time, but I just haven't played with it yet. I've got these Grey Knights, and I want them to be like obnoxiously shiny. I don't want them to be grimdark and sad.
Next project.
Next project.
I try it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes very quick. But yeah, no, I'm happy to finally get back on here. I know we've been trying to get this done for about 2 weeks, but I've been like in a mini 40K hiatus, so I've kind of just been going nonstop the last couple months.
I think most of us have with the whole
traveling, events, and painting and all that fun stuff. So
holidays.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't hit the ground running yesterday and today. Did a 4 or 5 hour podcast over on the Art of War.
Oh yeah, how'd that go? Did Brad threaten you or anything?
No. It was Brad wasn't on the show this time. It was me, Adam, and John Lennon.
Okay.
So, which we were both very, very excited for our new codex that we got.
Oh yeah, Gene Stealer cults. That's right.
Yeah, man.
So I know you and I were chatting a little bit when that first came out, but you still feeling really good about it?
Oh yeah. My initial impressions were it's very, very good, very strong, but the main thing that I liked, it was fluffy and competitive, so everything felt like something that a Gene Stealer cult model would do.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so it's not broken. I still don't think it's broken, but now kind of really diving into the codex, there's some stuff there that you definitely got to watch out for coming up to events. Very complicated book, definitely not new player friendly at all.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, we saw that with Admech too. Like, just like a really complicated book, and enough like gotchas and other things, or like stacking buffs that you're just like, you can't, unless you also know the book, you can't possibly know like what your opponent's trying to do, right? Like,
yeah, I don't like surprise at the table, but this is one of those books where like if I sat down and explained everything before the game, we would never have a game. It's just so much to go over. Where it's balanced out internally really well with like kind of poor data sheets. Like it has great rules. It's the opposite of a Grey Knight Codex, right?
Yeah, I was just
where it's got mediocre rules and not very fluffy or not all that stuff, but then you have crazy data sheets.
Yeah, we do have good data sheets.
But I will very much be enjoying putting 30 dirt bikes on the table and ruining people's days.
Nice.
So Mad Max style.
Yeah, so I mean, probably got some Grey Knight viewers in here. So you got any tips for dealing with GSC in general as Grey Knights?
What do you expect to see against the cults?
Yeah, like what do you like? Okay, so I'm going to LVO, right? And you're gonna be there too.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll have a drink or 8.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah. Anyway, so like if I were to walk up to my first table with my 5 Dread Knight list and ran into a brand new Gene Stealer cult, what should I in general? I know you can't tell me and I'm not gonna remember even if you did all of the little nuances like between each cult. But in general, what should I watch out for? Oh man, that long pause is not a great sign.
I think what you should be looking out for is who's piloting the army.
Okay.
More than anything, it's tough to say because there's so many builds that are possible with this book. You can build a cool shooting army, you could build a sweet melee army, or you could just do like a combo of both, which I think might be the best.
Yeah.
But it's not durable. It's not an overly durable codex. It's think of I hate to say this, but think of almost like a janky Drakari that has access to good shooting.
A janky Drakari.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've watched a couple streams with some bat reps on it, and like, you know, the aberrants seem cool. Crossfire and expose seem pretty neat. You know, like you got some options there. That sounds neat. Sounds awesome, and it's neat. Like it's an interesting way to like give an army that, you know, has like mining equipment and shit that they found, you know, and like make them good without like, okay, all of your bolters, your weird bolters are actually strength 5 or something, right? Which would be stupid, because then it's like, so they're as good as like the guns on a heavy intercessor. Instead, it's like, no, it's like the crazy teamwork and like popping out of nowhere, and that's what makes them good, you know, that like gives you the army-wide buff. It so like you said, it's fluffy, but also it changes your playstyle, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the meme going around of comparing the aberrant sledgehammers to Kasodi's spear. And it's like Kasodi's spear left handcrafted and
I saw
all that greatness.
Yeah. I mean, look at all the... I mean, look at the fucking force weapons. Also, it's wielded by a fucking crazy ass alien like monstrosity.
A walking abortion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course. What's up? Joshua Martin has joined the chat. There have been people diving in and out, but few folks actually interacting with the chat, which makes me a little sad. That's why we do these live streams. Otherwise, Cannon and I could just call one another and still have the same conversation.
That's usually what I do. I call my buddies and stuff when I'm just painting or whatever.
Paint.
No, so I think the things to look out for. So army wide, they can just straight up deep strike within 8 inches or 6 inches, but they can't charge within 6. And they also have access to a 3-inch deep strike. So it's relatively hard to screen.
I really miss having access to that 3-inch deep strike from the old Grey Knight book. It never worked against like experienced players, but dropping down 3 inches and grabbing an objective was hilarious every time.
Absolutely. Dynamic insertion was a great stratagem.
Yeah, that's
sad they got rid of it. Let's see. What is the serious jank that'll get you? Oh, if your opponent has a 20-man unit of neophytes with 4 seismic cannons and 4 grenade launchers, and the from every angle upgrade, hide your stuff turn 1, because they can come in via strategic reserves turn 1, and then you just give them rerolls, +1 damage, reroll wounds, and they'll just pick up a bunch of stuff, or just one big thing. So that's kind of terrifying, and it's not very expensive points wise.
Makes me sad.
They have 1 CP to pull a unit off the battlefield after they kill a unit in combat. So if they come in with like acolytes and rock saws, and they just eat something, they can just disappear, which is insane. That's quite good. The shooting stuff is deceptively good in combat. You have access to 1 CP, throw it like a grenade or a demo charge instead of making attacks in combat that hits on 2s.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Throwing a grenade in melee, basically.
Yep. There's a lot of just really cool stuff, really cool stratagems. They gave them a really cool psychic thing that I wish the Grey Knights had gotten, was 1 CP target a unit anywhere on the battlefield with a psychic blessing.
Oh, with a blessing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That would have been a neat, like, librarian buff or like a chaplain buff or something.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can't complain. Like a 3d6 cast is
Oh
pretty
yeah,
nice.
it's pretty nice. For sure.
And you're putting out a ton of mortals, so
Yeah.
it does add up. Oh,
Right,
I just don't even want to think about. So I had like 4,000 points of Colts painted up for this, and then with the new book, I had to go out and buy a lot. I went out and bought a lot of stuff. Yeah, I thought I had everything, and it's like, no, here's 30 bikers. Luckily, I had some winnings from Onslaught. 30 bikers, some rock
That's
grinders.
the one that I think that's the one that you won, right?
Yeah, that was the one exactly. One with the Grey Knights. Bought some Gene Stealer Cult. Ironically, my first practice game was against GK yesterday. So.
Oh really? And how'd it go?
It went quite well.
No.
Went quite well.
So what do you think of the new book for our boys in gold, huh? You think that's...
I haven't heard a ton. I've heard it's a side grade.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard too.
Yeah, I mean, so Custodians weren't in a bad spot before.
But they had the same thing that Grey Knights had in 8th, where, like, they had shitty data sheets and actually not that great of, like, rules in general, and then they got Psychic Awakening, and they got, like, super fucking killer strats.
Yeah.
Right,
they retained a lot of those, is my understanding, the turn off rerolls, which is one of the biggest ones. One of the best strategies in the game, honestly.
Yeah, they've still got that one. Their human is pretty expensive.
Is it like 2 CP now, or
yeah, like Grey Knights? It's like 1 CP if you're under 3 models.
Okay.
Which is, but the other thing about their codex is they got like a bunch of stuff like fallback, and shoot. But that's also based on the size of the unit, but then it's different, like the number. It's like 4 models instead of 3 models. So you have to look at the book to know how many fucking models you can actually use this on, because it's never, it's not like they're all 4 or all 3, right? It's like some are 3, some are 4, and so you're like, I better have the damn like book up because I'm never gonna remember.
That's really strange.
Yeah.
I get the design idea behind it, like making it, I don't know, because max Custodians units are like 5 models.
I mean, they have the sisters now, which I think are 10, but I don't think anybody will take them in 10. Like, they're really cheap troops now, so.
Which is great.
Looks like Jose has joined us. They're gonna also start painting their Grey Knight, so rock on. Welcome. We're just gonna talk shit for probably 3 hours. I mean, not 3 more hours, but 3 hours total.
All the hours. We're not, it's a 24-hour marathon.
Oh, damn.
Buckle up.
Well, that'll be weird tomorrow when I'm trying to work and paint and stream at the same time.
So the consensus I was getting, I mean, I haven't dove into the Custodes book, but I think the issue is they're saying that it's all damage 2, correct? A lot of their swords, staves, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is damage 2.
And there's so much -1 damage in the meta right now.
Yeah, but I think that changes here shortly when like Tau and Eldar drop, and I think those factions are going to be inherently good against a lot of the -2, -1 damage stuff. So if the less -1 damage stuff shows up, then we'll see probably some more Custodes. Issue being if Eldar lean into Wraiths, which is all -1 damage still. I'm not sure Custodes have a great time.
Oh man, so they'll be just doing the same thing back to us that has been being done. Yeah. Even though they'll like actually deal with that. Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah, brace yourself. Tau and Eldar are coming.
Yeah, man. I wasn't ever really worried about the Custodians book very much, but I was definitely and am still super worried about Tau. I think Tau are gonna be bonkers, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be absolutely out of this world bonkers. They're gonna completely change the meta, I think. Alright, looks like I have no more. Oh, I do have interceptor backpacks to do still. I have so many fucking interceptors.
Yeah, I've heard Tau might need day one FAQs, but I mean, it's all
Wow.
speculation.
Yeah, it's all speculation. Everything
I
that's
mean, that's the interesting thing. It's like you know, I've talked to people who have seen stuff or have tested stuff or whatever like that, and it's everyone has their own perspective on the game. You know,
Yeah.
everything I was hearing about the Gene Star cult and the leaks and all that stuff beforehand, it's like curb your enthusiasm. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be that great. And reading through this book, I mean, you can do some real damage with it. I think it's very, very strong.
Good.
So just always, I think that's the biggest thing is always formulate your own opinion. Don't listen to the internet. You know, do some research for yourself.
Well, it's
I can tell you something's bad, and you can think it's good. And if you think it's good and it works for you, it works for you.
It's just hard not to when there's not a lot of information and like research to be done. Like the last week or so, right? When like we mortals don't have access to the books yet. They went out to, all those content creators, right? So,
yeah, the content creators.
I mean, I know, and then like the other thing too is even if you are talking to somebody as a play tester, or you like hear it through the grapevine, just always remember as well that like they don't get the whole book. Like they aren't told exactly. like here's the whole thing, now go play it. They get like pieces of it,
yeah, but it's great. A lot of the time it's the grapevine. Like the playtesters themselves who test on stuff don't share.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they're definitely not supposed to
hear from someone else to hear from someone else, and they're just like
exactly. Yeah.
And then it just goes down the rabbit hole. Like, what's true? What is real?
It's like living in the Matrix. What's real? I don't even know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, even when stuff came out, like with AdMech, there was a lot of the consensus was there's a unit of sulfur hounds, and that unit's bad. But I won quite a lot of stuff with it, so I thought it was good, and it worked for me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's fair. But
yeah. I just remember like oh, we're losing you again.
No.
There, I think it's better
here
now. I think it's better now. But you were totally robotic there.
That's just my circuits malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was GT 2022 is coming out soon.
Yeah, I think that'll be really cool.
Approved. Yeah.
I mean, even if everybody got their books on day one of like 9th edition and oh man, Jose is talking about the new Matrix movie, and I want to come back to that.
Okay.
But like, even if everybody got perfectly balanced codexes day one, like if you want to change up the meta, you change up the missions, right? Like, because and like every secondary and stuff, if you actually change that up, which is what Games Workshop is actively doing, then it forces different builds and different decisions.
Like gameplay gets shaken up quite a bit outside of just list building.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when I got to test the new missions, just like it's weird because no one was asking for primary changes on how that's scored, but that made the game feel way different. I know people wanted more secondary changes and stuff, but the way the primaries changed, it actually changes the game quite a bit.
Yeah, now there's the like the primary secondaries.
Yeah, no, that's super. I mean, that makes a world of difference. It's like, do I want to go stand on this round circle, or do I want to get 3 points for killing a unit?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've only played one game of AOS one time, but like I thought the battle goals per round were actually pretty neat. Like it made you really make some decisions, you know, and like even the decision of which one do I want to burn this turn that I know I can't do. So that I can definitely do one next turn. Like those were decisions that you had to make, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about the new AOS edition because I liked AOS when I played it.
Third, yeah, I've only played one game ever, so I'm not gonna. I definitely don't follow the meta, but there's a guy in Portland. His name's Jeremy, and his last name starts with a V, and there's no way I'm gonna pronounce it right. But he was actually he won the AOS like ITC a few years ago, and he's actually the captain of Team USA. So he's pretty good. And I went down into his basement with a friend who actively has like known him for years, and he's got like every AOS army all painted. He's got a whole like stream setup down there. So I just grabbed an army and went to town, and it was eye-opening because of how similar but different it is, right? Like it goes way faster. Like there is no strength and no toughness. It's just you have a wound value. Your X wounds on 4. It doesn't matter what you're shooting. Like a big monster or a stupid foot troop or whatever, you wound them on 4s. Go like it. It makes you roll real fast, which is has its advantages for sure.
You'll get a kick out of this. So at the Dallas Finale Roadshow, when the players were playing for their bracket in the finals of the bracket, the other players didn't really have. They didn't have anyone to play. So what they arranged, Games Workshop arranged a 40K versus AOS game.
Oh, that's right. I heard about this.
Which was hilarious. Obviously, 40K this was not a sanctioned event, but the 40K armies definitely dunked on the AOS armies because it's like your bolters are, just wiping someone's army.
How did they deal with the wound thing? Like that's a very like systematic change. Like there is no toughness value on an AOS datasheet or a war scroll that I remember. So it's not like that your gun strength 4 and that their toughness is like 7. I don't. So how do you do that math?
I don't know. I was playing for my bracket, so I didn't actually play that game. But I heard it was fun. I heard everyone actually had a ton of fun just messing around doing that. So
nice.
It's a good end to a good weekend.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to forget what I told Jose. So I also saw the new Matrix movie. And I was also in general, I guess I lean into the disappointed side of it was okay. It did a lot of fan service. Like the entire first like half hour is just fan service. Which is,
I've heard nothing but terrible things about
which is endearing in a way, but yeah, it definitely didn't do anything new. So if you're holding out to watch it for whatever reason and you're expecting something new and hyper interesting, it's not.
Well, they were supposed to make some more sequels or whatever, but it lost so much money that they canceled the sequels to the sequel.
Are you serious? Oh, I didn't know that.
They lost $200 million.
Oh, they'll get that all back in like merchandise sales and shit.
Yeah, I don't know anything. It's just the headline I read.
Oh yeah. I get my news only from headlines.
Yes, only from headlines. Well, I don't click the articles because then people get ad revenue, and I don't want to give people ad revenue.
Yeah, clearly.
If it's an important article, I'll read it. But this is not something I cared about whatsoever. Yeah.
So Jose says that he tried to like it, but the acting was so bad that he couldn't. And then he goes on to say the most divisive thing that has probably ever been stated in my chat, which is that he liked all three of the original movies.
Was the third one? You didn't like the third one?
I thought they got progressive. I thought one was amazing. I thought two was not great, and I thought three was awful.
Oh, it's fair. I mean, I watched them as a kid, so everything's cool when you're a kid, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. I'm 37. It came out in 99, so I was a sophomore in high school when the original launched. And it was, oh my god, man, that was just like the coolest thing. Like bullet time and all those like those graphics and stuff were brand new. Like nobody had ever done anything like it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I mean, not to the same extent, but it's like when my my oldest brother is about to turn 50, and he got to see Star Wars, one of the Star Wars in the theater. Maybe no, because 1977 is when the first one came out. So I don't. Anyway, like he was absolutely just blown away. Like Star Wars did stuff that nothing else had ever done. But now you look at like if you watch the original Matrix now, you're like, yeah, it's fun, it's okay, like it's not that bad. The CGI where like the helicopter slams into the building does not hold up. That looks like shit. But like,
no, not at all. And then I think they show that on like TBS or TNT or something a lot. It's always on like reruns, and I remember seeing that one time, and I'm like, God damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like you remember it being so cool, and you're like, oh, that didn't hold up like at all. But you know, it was absolutely like show-stoppingly brilliant at the time.
I don't know. I've never been a huge Star Wars guy.
Oh man, Star Wars basically raised me. If you,
I know, I get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah. But again,
sure.
it's I think a lot of that too is our age difference, you know.
Yeah, no, I 100% can see that. I have a terrible funny Star Wars story. If you want to?
Yeah, I want to get to this thing that Jose just said.
Okay.
I love the catharsis of the the messianic story in the three films, but that's just me. Yeah, I am not a religious scholar. So those themes were probably lost on me. I don't know. I thought the brothers were an attempt to be edgy that like didn't work. Like those twins. I think they're actually called the twins in the movie. Something. Those guys with like the white dreadlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They fell flat
I like
for
those
me.
guys. They're kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so you've got a awesome bad Star Wars story.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
But wait, there's more. So this was, what was it? The first of the new trilogy came out, and I believe it was 2015.
Force Awakens, yeah.
Force Awakens, right? So I was deployed at the time, and we were on a Mu, which is a ship, big boat.
A Marine Expeditionary Unit.
Yep.
Right.
And we were on a boat. And I think we just got out of the Mediterranean, and we were heading over to the Middle East. And we were going to stop in Oman for like some R&R and just to hang out, get some time off or whatever. I think it was Oman. Uh, yeah, it was. And so the new Star Wars was coming out, and everyone on the ship was just like, that's all they cared about. They just wanted to go see the Star Wars. Everyone was so excited, and I'm kind of an ass sometimes, not gonna lie. And me
Don't
and my buddies
say.
were bored, right? It's Marines on a ship full of Navy people. Like we got nothing else to do right now. So we Googled
Except strain inner service relations, right? Just gotta go fuck with it.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Well, this was an attack on the Marines as well.
Nice.
So me and my buddy looked up the spoilers for the new Star Wars movie.
Oh, dude.
And we made posters and put them around the ship, and we folded them, and it says "Open for a surprise." And when you open it up, it would say Han Solo dies in the new Star Wars. And we just wait around the corner, and we would just sporadically throughout the day just hear people scream like, "Yo, what the fuck? Who did this?"
Like, God damn it!
God damn it!
Yeah, that's...
It's the little things that get me through the day.
Man, I've been on 3 different cruise ships. And those are big, ships with comforts. That's how they're designed. I can't imagine being a 30-year Navy veteran where you've been in the fucking wet Navy the whole time. Just do you even remember what sheetrock looks like? You've just seen bulkheads for 30 years.
Oh man, it was a floating prison. I will never go back on something like that again.
Well, you don't have to, so congratulations.
Free man. Anyway, not to get to the military stuff, I just thought that was a funny memory.
No, man, it's a free-form conversation here. I'm sure we'll keep coming back to Warhammer somehow, so...
Oh, I know. I don't want to chase
people
off by talking about non-40K stuff. That's why people come.
Yeah.
We're super cool people, obviously, but
obviously
that's not why they're
here.
Yeah. So anyway, are you excited for LVO?
I am excited, but also a little overwhelmed, just because So I've got all my shit squared away. I got a room. My buddy Norm's gonna go with me. He got a ticket to the friendly because he couldn't find one to the competitive. So we won't be in the same brackets or whatever. But
Sure.
Jose would like to thank you for your service, which I know won't make you uncomfortable at all, which is why I brought it up.
You could have just not said anything.
I know,
appreciate
but I wasn't going to.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed is the correct word, by the way.
Yeah, so it's just the logistics of the shit. Once I'm rolling dice, I'll be fine. But it's all the other stuff. It's, will the flight get canceled because there's all that going on with COVID? Will LVO get canceled? Schools around here are going back to remote learning. There's all of these changes happening right now that, and I know Reese will not cancel LVO unless the state legally requires him to.
No, of course.
But there's too much money involved. He's, if it's anything like planning a wedding, you're only going to get back 50% of everything you've put into it, So, at best. Anyway, so there's always that shit. I'm very lucky I got $77 round trip tickets.
Yeah.
Which is the money I know I can't get back if LVO gets canceled. So for me, it's that sucks, whatever. It's $77. But imagine you're flying over from fucking England or something. It's,
oh yeah, you would
$1,600 tickets. That's not cool.
I honestly wouldn't hate if LVO got canceled. Obviously, I'd be upset, but I mean, it was $70 round trip as well. The
Nice.
hotel paid for, so Nick is doing videography for the event for
Oh,
GW.
okay, cool. Which is
So
why he's
GW,
not playing, right?
which was not, yeah, he's not playing, but they're GW's comping the room and stuff. So
Well, that's nice.
yeah, if LVO gets canceled, I'm still going out there. We're gonna have
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. So my oldest brother and his whole family live there. So I was thinking, like, I got the week off from work. Actually, I got a week and a half off because I was gonna stay late and hang out with my brother anyway. So it's like, do I even still go do that? Because like I know I can just crash on his. He's a doctor. He has a huge house.
Oh, wow.
So I can just like crash in his guest room, which I would have done for LVO as well and save some money, but I don't want to lift to where he is, and if I'm out drinking with you guys, I will be in no mental state to even call a lift. Like, I just needs to be like floor 47, room 6 or whatever, and I'll like figure it out. But
nice. Are you staying at the event place?
hell yeah, man, staying at the Rio.
Rio.
Yeah,
I got my room for like 2 nights. Because I had to get Wednesday and Monday or whatever because it wasn't covered. It's like $40 or something stupid.
You lucky some bitch.
Yeah, I don't know because it was the odd days. There's no one staying there.
Yeah, I saw. Well, I'm staying Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. And
yeah.
I paid like after fees and everything, I paid just shy of like $600.
Yep.
Which is why I'm splitting it with a buddy of mine to make it sort of manageable. And
that's how you do 40K in travel. You gotta find some friends and split everything.
And Jose is saying that he's a teacher, so he knows all about remote learning and stuff getting totally canceled, right, buddy? Sorry, dude. Thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your service. What grade do you teach, Jose?
My wife is respiratory therapist at the only level 1 trauma hospital in the area. So she has lived and breathed this thing for the last 2 fucking years.
Oh man, there's like some crazy percentage of people down here getting sick right now, and it's something serious. I don't think.
Well, you live in Florida, man.
But no, it's weird because I'm in Florida and everyone goes out all the time. And I went out this weekend and there was nobody out, which is unheard. I've never gone out on a Friday or Saturday and seen bars empty. They were pretty empty, but yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get into politics too hard, but like DeSantis, your governor down there has not been cautious at all.
I don't think Floridians would have listened to him either way.
Nice.
It's like the Wild West. Yeah, I just think people don't. That is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, how's the weather?
They're gonna live their life.
Is it snowing up there?
Jose says he teaches high school. So you teach all 4 grades in high school then? I assume. I don't know. When I went to high school, that stuff was still kind of like broken up by upperclassmen and lowerclassmen. So like when I was a freshman, sophomore, I would hear stories about like, oh yeah, you definitely want a class from like this teacher, but you can't get into any of his classes until you're a junior. Or you had, X amount of high school credits, which I was never going to get extra high school credits because I basically just went to high school to be social because that's where all my friends were. I graduated with a 2.4 GPA, 2.2, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Just did not care. I did the minimum amount of effort to graduate.
Dig it. So, right.
Nice. So that's after you've ooh, it's so glossy and gross. You gotta play.
Yeah. I gotta wait for it to dry, and then I also gotta hit with the matte varnish afterwards. But I think it's gonna look pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm
gotta
just
do some other stuff to it.
I'm just getting all these halberds done so I can dry brush them. I'm just doing base coats right now.
Controversial statement. Grey Knights are not very fun to paint.
What? Well, I mean, they're fast to paint. I don't know. So I'm gonna stroke my own ego here for a bit, and if anybody's listening, this is what I've been working on for the last like week here. Oh, and of course it's not gonna actually fit in the frame. Oh man, I gotta learn how to actually film stuff. So this is my Grandmaster in Nemesis Dread Knight, or one of them anyway. So I've done a bunch of like green stuff work. I made these like, at least I think they're pretty neat, like super detailed purity seals. I wrapped it around the haft of the spear, which I need to actually ask LVO if this will count as a sword. But you know, I think it looks great. But I did all kinds of extra stuff, like this is all magnetized. I did these like tilt shields and got some transfers on there, and I basically did that with 3 Dread Knights. So that's been my week. So far I got this guy here. Once again, it's not gonna fit into the frame, but yeah, everything's magnetized, so like if some kind of weird meta occurs in 3 years and it's all about them flamethrowers, I can swap them out. I've even got like spare fists, so if I don't want to roll the great swords, I can just like throw on a fist.
Which, speaking of fists, I learned the other day that they are damaged too.
They are. Yes. They are damaged too. Yeah. They're also like strength 12 or something.
Yeah.
They're times 2 minus 2 AP and damage 2, but they are not nemesis weapons, which kind of sucks, but and then this is the last Grandmaster Dread Knight, so I got like all kinds of extra crap on him. I think he looks great, but
see.
Yeah, so this has been my life.
Get away from my jeans, Paul. No, stop it. Stop it.
Do it. Do it.
No, they eat the heads.
Yeah, so I painted the Grandmaster here blue because blue is my favorite color. And this guy is supposed to be me. So that face right there is a 3D printed face. It's supposed to be my face. And then I painted it like absolute dog shit. I can't paint a face worth a damn. So like, I should have done contrast paints or like normal acrylic layer paints, but I did a layer paint and then hit it with a contrast paint, and it just looks terrible. But it's supposed to be my hair, my beard, so it's actually got like on the side there is my family crest on his shoulder and stuff. So basically my hubris knows no bounds. Is
that's a pretty big commitment.
Yeah, which has actually
I'm pulling up your stream right now so I can see it.
It's been really fun in my games against my friends because they will try to kill him just because it is me, not because it's the right move to win the game, but they're like, fuck you, Rick.
That's hilarious and also terrifying. What's up with the goggles?
It's supposed to be the white. See, I just didn't paint them well. It's they're white. What's that? Sunglasses. There's the those well-known the Wayfarer style like sunglasses.
There you go. Okay, that makes sense.
But and it looks, before I painted it, it looked fine. But then I painted it. Now it looks like garbage.
I think it looks great, man.
No, that's very. I think the rest of it looks good. Like, no joke, those 3 models are the best painting I've ever done, ever.
Yeah.
Not to say I can't get better, but like the head on that, I was actually thinking about popping it off and painting a Terminator helmet, just slapping that on there because it looks so bad.
It's funny. It's a good conversation piece, like at the table, for sure.
Yeah, they're like, all right, what's up with his fucking goggles?
You wear goggles a lot?
Yeah, exactly. Wear lots of goggles.
Big fan. No, I wouldn't worry too much about conversions and stuff like that. Like I remember freaking out one of my first DTs and like, oh my god, this guy has a knife in his hand instead of like a power sword, and like am I able be able to use this? And I was like, I got to the event, I'm like, oh, no one cares.
Yeah,
as long as your stuff's painted and it's reasonable.
That was my experience at the RTT that I went to as well. It's like I asked that poor TO so many questions, and I just started to get the feeling that he's just like, just leave me alone, like whatever, like as long as it's on the right base and it's not confused with other models, fucking go to town, dude. Just bring it over.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. All my neophyte special weapons are mining lasers, but I'm probably gonna run them as seismic cannons. And I'm not there's no one selling seismic cannon bits because if they have them, they're keeping them. So if everything is just the same, it's all the same thing. No one's gonna say anything. Data sheet and the list says seismic cannons. All the models are the same. I don't really can't even tell the difference, but that's not gonna be a big deal. Like I thought GW was going to be super strict because people were saying that you have to have like an approved paint scheme. Like if you're playing white scars, they can't be red. Stuff.
That's dumb.
Yeah, everyone was freaking out, and then we got there. And we're like, oh, like this is nobody. Yeah, nobody cares. Somebody had like a Jeep as like a Invader ATV, like a plastic Jeep.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, that's the kind of stuff that I thought would not be cool at all. But here we are. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play against an orc buddy of mine, and he didn't have any buggies because they were like really hard to find, and so he did the same thing. It was like a vintage 1980s green GI Joe Jeep, and he's like, it's a little bigger than the actual model, but or maybe not GI Joes, but I don't know. It was like this long or whatever. So it wasn't gonna fit like a full size, G.I. Joe in it, but yeah, it was hilarious. So it was green plastic with the white like, army star on it and shit.
Right.
Yeah, no one cared.
That's pretty funny. I remember getting pictures. There was like a GT in the Midwest, and someone was running the AdMech flyer list. But all of his flyers were like dollar store, like planes.
That's amazing.
And the TO allowed it, so.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The stuff you see. Just buy them up. If they're out of stock, yeah, proxy them for sure, absolutely. But buy the plus. Support your hobby.
I'm a natural Squidmar, bro. I don't know what that means. Wish I did. Also, I wish I knew how to use a light and not just fuck up my camera. That's cool. I'm trying to make these like models nice and lit up, but then my hand gets in the way and anyway, so yeah. Gene Stealer Cult. Tau.
I'm going to do some mean things to many people here soon.
Yeah, and you'll get your time in the sun, and then Tao will go ahead and give you a wake-up call.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be everybody.
And then
Tao and Lord.
And then you'll run out and go buy a Tau army.
Will not be running a Tau army. I'm considering Eldar though at some point.
Fate dice seem pretty cool.
Yeah, everything in the book seems pretty good so far.
No, I haven't seen any other leaks except the Fate.
Oh, just
Well, I
go on
mean,
Reddit. I don't know who's doing this,
yeah,
but someone did like a Reddit 40K Christmas Eldar leak.
yeah. I guess I saw a couple of their units and the Fate dice. It's like the man. What is their big? It's not a Titanic model or anything, but it's like their big walker. I remember the name.
Oh yeah, the Wraith Knight.
No, I thought it had like the name of one of their gods or whatever. I don't know. I've never seen them because they're apparently god awful right now, so nobody ever runs them.
Avatar of Cain.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Oh, your brain, or
Yvrain. Yeah. Is that a one-off, or is that like a Titanic, or?
I don't know. So the box is called the Triumvirate, where it comes with the Incarn, Yvrain, and like another character, I think, like the cat lady. I don't know. I just know that got leaked, and a couple people went up to the store and bought all the Incarns. So
Nice.
must be pretty damn good. I think the only way I play Eldar is if like I could do a whole Wraith army, and it'd actually be pretty good. Just because I remember when I was a kid playing and thinking those were like the coolest models.
I think
They're pretty sweet. They're a lot larger than they look like in the pictures.
I
So I
think
think they're on like a 40 or 50 mil base.
everything Eldar to me looks absolutely like weak. It looks spindly and tiny, and like a stiff breeze will destroy it. Like
Sure.
those Wraith Knights don't look frightening to me at all. They look like amoebas. They've got like long, spindly, weak looking, like fragile arms.
Mm-hmm.
Jose, I just saw your comment, and this is going to swing us back slightly, but he's saying he's not confident enough to go to any tournament, but he's asking if they would allow clear bases, and as long as it is based,
Yeah.
so as long as there's stuff on top of it, and I think you'll be fine. But at least the RTT I went to was very strict about making sure at least everybody's stuff was based, and you had to have 3 colors minimum, or you'd get a yellow carded. So there was no like plastic armies there, thankfully.
Yeah, yeah, clear bases are fine just as long as they are decorated or considered painted. Like it just can't be a clear base.
Yeah.
Which is pretty easy to just put some debris or some paste on there, dry brush, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
And then the other thing I'd say is about your confidence level, man. Just do it. Like the RTT I went to, I've got a whole after action like video if you want to go check that out, where I do like a synopsis of my experience, and it was awesome. Like everybody was super friendly. There was some pressure because you have to play fast, but otherwise, man, it was actually great. I had a great time. I just learned that the same people were gonna throw a tournament next weekend, and I had like signed up, and I just learned yesterday that they actually had to cancel it, as the venue couldn't guarantee that they would have enough people to actually staff it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So they had to refund.
There goes your LVO prep.
I know, that's like, yeah, I wanted to practice. I was really hoping to get some games into like Crusher Stampede and Thick City. Maybe the new
Two unfun
GCO's
matchups to
Colt.
play against.
What's that?
Oh yeah, you're not going to be playing against any Gene Slayer Cult people.
Against what?
You're not going to be playing against any Gene Slayer Cult people. You'll probably see quite a few Crusher, Stampede, and Thick City armies though.
Yeah, I'm not worried much about Crusher Stampede because they just don't have the models to screen Grey Knights out, so you get to be anywhere you want. But
I wouldn't be so sure about that, man. It's like 6 or 7 or 8, 6 or 7 big bugs. So hold on, let me do the math. It's 2 Flying Hive Tyrants in the Swarmlord, 2 Scythe and 2 Daimakarans, 3 units of Warriors, and then the Harpy. So that's 8 big monsters. And Grey Knights don't kill them very well, and they sure as hell will kill Grey Knights.
well, not a durable army. That's not what we're known for.
Nah, and the output, so the whole army is -1 damage, which hurts our shooting and melee. Whole army has a 5-up Enmolden.
Well, that'll never come into play anyway. Like, we don't have any AP to get them down that far. Like,
yeah,
swords and melee are -3, but you have to have swords. Yeah. Like, so that's the only time you'll actually hit their invul.
We spend the 1 CP on a Dread Knight shooting.
Yeah.
Increase the AP, but yeah, and then the big thing is their Leviathan. So each big monster counts as the amount of wounds remaining, as far as the amount of models counts as, I guess. And then 1 CP Leviathan can make anything OBSEC, which they hold objectives pretty well.
Yeah. Well, Jose says that he's gonna do it anyway. He says screw it. He's gonna grab Drago, and he says 50 intercessors. You can't actually bring 50, or we all would, because they're amazing right now.
Yeah.
You can bring 30.
He's on the right track. You're on the right track, bud. Drago, the Chaplain, an Apothecary, and then just all of the Strike and Interceptors. You're gonna have a good time. It's a little tricky, but I mean, you should be able to just overwhelm most people.
It is such a crutch for me now, like how fast the Interceptors are. My old list had 30 and my new one has 25, and the like 6 or 7 games I've played, I'm like missing those 5. I'm like, where are they? Yeah. I don't have enough.
I was hesitant at first, like when I was putting lists together. I'm like, I don't know all these and all that stuff, and then I'm like, okay, you have to have 30 of them.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot.
Where you start before even the Dread Knights.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only slider you really have. I mean, how many interceptors you want to bring, and how many Dread Knights you want to bring, and that's really the only up and down movement you get. But I mean, it's an 8 datasheet codex, as I've said a million times before. So
you're not wrong. Yeah, Jose. So I don't know if Jose hasn't been to an event before, right?
No. He says he's scared, but I'm telling you, man, it was so they were so nice, man.
Yeah, like 90% of the people that show up to events are there to literally just play the game and put their models on the table. There's like 10% that show up and are like actually like hyper competitive, but those guys are probably the most fun to play against, and then you learn a lot about the game. It's almost like you're a spectator, right? Because you know you're going to get your ass kicked.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt against the game that I played against Black Templar. First time playing him ever against this guy who's been playing 40k for like 10 years. He's been playing Black Templar like the whole time, and he just at the end of the game, like the last 2 turns, he's like, you should move that thing over here and then fire at this, and then here's why. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. And I just like but he's explaining why. He's like, this is what I would do if I were you, and why you should do that. It didn't matter. He absolutely smashed me.
Well, that's when you learn the most. Is when you lose. You don't win. You don't learn by winning every game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, if I lose but I learn, it's not really a loss to me, right? Like, I'm not the guy going to try to win the ITC. I'm not trying to win LVO. Like, you know, I'd be very happy if I placed top 4 at an RTT at my current skill level. Now Jose is asking what we think about Chrome Grey Knights, and that made me think about a paint that I bought very recently, and I'm gonna go grab it real quick. But I think Chrome personally, for me, it sounds good in practice, but when you look at an army of Chrome that's just like, it's like assaulting your eyes with all the light that's reflected back. But let me show you something real quick. If I can make it. I got so many like light stands and stuff.
Good death trap getting out of there.
Oof. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. And it looks like we've been joined by a CJ. I did notice your message before I stood up, by the way, so there's not that bad of a lag. Anyway, so this stuff is Vallejo model or liquid silver. It is an oil paint though, so you have to use IPA, not the beer, like this beer. You have to use isopropyl alcohol to actually clean your brushes. This stuff is crazy, and it's probably glued shut, but I thought was the most mirror-like finish you could ever find. And then I learned about this stuff called mirror. If you look this up, it effectively turns anything you paint with it into a mirror. Like, there is, I think if you look at the YouTube video of this stuff, the guy paints it on a balloon and he can see his face in it.
That is really cool.
It is expensive as fuck though. Like, for, I think this is like a few ounces, and I think this is like $30.
Holy shit.
Not cheap.
Like that.
So, but like, this stuff is crazy cool. I think it's just that expensive because it's like one guy. It's very low volume paint. But you should, if you want chrome, man, and you want chrome easy, you look that stuff up. I mean, like, if you painted a Dread Knight in that stuff, I think it would look just absolutely bonkers.
That would be the ultimate flex, just showing up with $30 painted models. Like,
oh, and you're gonna need like 5 or 6 bottles of this stuff too.
Oh yeah,
it's not that much. It's smaller
models.
Yeah, it's actually smaller or it's about the size of my thumb. So you can kind of do the math there on.
Especially with an airbrush.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I am out of beer, so I'm gonna run along and grab some. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. But Jose was saying he got his Dark Angels actually are absolutely decimated by a Space Wolves player. Which that's an army I want to make too, just because I love Terminators that don't actually die.
Yeah, I like Dark Angels a lot. I think there's definitely some play with them right now. Space Wolves too. There's some people doing pretty damn well with Space Wolves. It's gonna be interesting to see like the points changes and stuff when Chapter Proof comes out. See if Rick will share the chat with me, but you should Jose, post a list. I want to see what you got. How many points you playing, that kind of thing. I'm gonna try to pull the chat.
All right.
Up.
So
who was the one that posted the Dark Angels list? Was that Jose?
Yeah. So Jose says he got destroyed with his Dark Angels.
Yeah.
What's up, CJ? Are you on the clock right now, man? Are you in the firehouse waiting on a call? Oh man, you play power level? I don't even.
Yeah, I asked Jose to share a list with us. I want to see what he's running.
Okay. He says he's gonna throw it into chat, so you'll be able to see his list soon. There was somebody who ran a like 30 Terminators Dark Angel list as like a SKU list, and did pretty okay at some like doing it again.
I think it may have been New Orleans. I think that may have been something.
And that's I don't know. I like armies that don't die, but I also really like Terminators. It's kind of one of the things that I'm sad about Grey Knights, you know, is that like our Terminators die.
Not great.
They're
definitely not great right now.
They die so fast.
I just remember in 3rd edition, when I was a kid, just like having my Grey Knight Terminators were like my prized possession. Like that was my favorite thing. And I remember, so the rule used to be when you deep strike, you roll a dice, and it's like 50-50. So it's either a hit marker or a move marker. And if it's hit, you land deep strike, nothing happens, you're fine. You go where you're placed. But if you roll an arrow, you move that way, and you roll a d6. You move that way X amount of inches, whatever the d6 was.
So you could end up closer to your enemy?
Closer, but here's the deal. If you landed on top of their models, your unit was destroyed.
The whole unit? Woo!
The whole unit just dies. Because I guess it was like dangerous terrain or something like that. Sure. It was either the models or on dangerous terrain, where it would just kill the unit. So just being, like an 11-year-old kid and being like, okay, so my one unit that I brought is dead.
That sucks.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Sucks to suck, nerd.
I mean, like, it's like thematic. It's not fun. That doesn't sound fun. You know what I mean? Well, so CJ says he's not at work today, but he saw the stream and thought he'd swing by. So thank you much, sir. We're just as you see, we are being very serious.
Super serious. I'm gonna step out to the restroom real quick.
All right, man. I will be here. Hold down the fort. Yeah, so what are you gonna work on at work tomorrow, man? Are you gonna work on some more Grey Knights, or no, he might be gone. Bye, CJ. Folks dipping in and out of chat. I don't even know why I painted that. I'm just gonna dry brush it again later anyway. Dark Angel, Azrael, Librarian, Deathwing Terminators, and Knights, Venerable Dread, Suppressors, Hellblasters, and Scepters. Gene Stealers. Well, when Cannon gets back, he'll be very happy to hear that you are painting your Gene Stealers. He is excited for this new book.
Stealers.
Huh?
So what I say, Gene Stealers?
Yep. See. We just spawned him like a fucking Pierce strain. He just popped out of nowhere. Yeah, he's I think you were saying in our first interview, Canon, that they were like your first army, or maybe they were your like favorite ninth edition or 8th edition army or something. And he is excited for the new book. He says there's a lot of fun jank in it. Oh, I see. Okay, my bad. Well, you've probably made Canon cry, but I'm okay with that. He needs to go through some trials and tribulations to become a bigger person, so he'll make it through just fine. Yeah, I too am focused on my Grey Knights right now. Jose, I feel a little bad because my Deathwatch friends are like, when are you putting out more Deathwatch content? I'm like, I work full time. I have a wife and like other hobbies. I can't just play Warhammer, guys. I just can't. But if Tau is as bad as I think it's gonna be, and Grey Knights aren't as good after that, definitely eyeballing that Army of Renown. Although, for NoobHammer, we want to start a Crusade League that's all videotaped. We're not sure if we want to do a live stream or not, but I will definitely run Deathwatch in that because it looks like a lot of fun. Wife has other hobbies that slowed you down. How dare she? Grey Knights got 15 strikes, 15 interceptors, 10 terminators, 10 purifier, 10 purgation dudes, an apothecary, a champion, and crow. If you haven't yet, you should watch my interview with Stuart Trainer, who might be on the show again here soon. He has an all power armor list that he's been winning RTTs with. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to go to anything bigger because he lives in Australia right now and they're in like kind of regional lockdowns. But he's a very good player. And I think he could actually pull off some pretty good placements with it. The downside for you and I, though, especially me, it is, he says, not a super easy army. Like, if you make any mistakes, you are so fragile that you just crumple. So it's a high skill floor army. Oh, I see. Yeah. So he recently, I did an interview with Terrence Drew, who took a double Corvus Blackstar list to NRTT, also in Australia, and he got to the top table where he faced off against Stuart Trainer. Stuart Trainer brought his latest version of that list. Later, CJ. Thanks for swinging by, dude. So Stuart, he's not running pure power armor anymore. He is running one Dread Knight, but he managed to win it. I guess it was a really close game. I can't wait to have Stuart on to discuss it from his point of view, because I heard it from Terrence's point of view, and I think that'll be a eye-opening experience. Because I was talking to Stuart on Facebook, and he was saying what he thought he did well and what he thinks Terrence did well. It's really interesting to like see that. Like, the two players both played the same game, but they both have very like different ideas of like what happened, and Like, I find that fascinating. So yeah, he'll be back on soon. Probably next week, we think. Try to make that work. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, these are my last two interceptors. Oh. I have a Storm Raven. I have put it on the board one time. That game is actually live streamed. It was August 15th, the day after I got the book. And the only reason I remember the date is I got the Grey Knight's book on my birthday, which was August 14th. So, you know. Anyway, it didn't do that hot. It blew up an Archon, which was pretty funny, and then it did nothing for the rest of the game. It flew around on one wound, shot at things and missed, and then it won me engage points, and that was about all it did. Yeah, it's a cool model. I just wish it was better. You know, there's like not a lot of, I don't know. There was a player that won a GT in Scandinavia with a list that ran a Storm Raven, and I reached out to him, but he never got back to me. I don't think he uses Facebook very often, so I would have loved to talk to him about that. It's been months now, and probably doesn't even remember how the game went.
What up?
Hey, welcome back.
It
Was a pretty long bathroom break there, dude. Are you okay? Are you like walking weird now?
I know. I actually grabbed a snack too. I just don't eat on stream.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was just fucking with you. Alright, interceptors have some more color on them. They now meet the minimum standards for LVO, but I'm not done, obviously. So,
Shoot for the minimum.
Huh?
I always shoot for the minimum.
Yeah, there you go. I just want to meet the standard. I don't want to beat the standard. Why would I ever do that? So Jose's Dark Angels list was actually, let's see if I can find it. Azrael, obviously. Librarian, he said Deathwing, Terminators, and Knights. I don't know how many of each. And then a Venerable Dreadnought, some Suppressors, some Hell Blasters, and some Inceptors. And if there is a Space Marine chapter to give plasma to, it's them. So,
oh yeah,
that works out.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good starting point. Not really huge on the Venerable Dreadnoughts, but I mean Terminators and Plasma, Azrael.
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
Azrael is crazy good. Holy crap, is that boy good?
Yeah, he's good. I think when I take peeks at Dark Angels from time to time. I like the army.
I want to play that army.
I think instead of Azrael, I think you want to take Lazarus, the named character, the other named character, because he's pretty cool. He has a aura of 5-up fuel pain against mortals, which is very relevant.
Which is pretty good right now. I hear they're pretty good right now.
Yeah, there's this thing. They have halberds and they hurt people in the psychic phase. I forget their name. Do you know their name?
I don't know. The Silver Spurs or something. Whatever.
Yeah. So watch out for the Silver Spurs. But yeah, Deathwing Terminators, that guy, and some Talon Masters is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I was.
Like it, you can have a secondary that just rewards you for sitting there.
Yeah, actually, when we were talking about the new missions earlier, I was wondering. I was like, I wonder how that'll actually hurt Dark Angels, because they had a build for a while where it's like I don't leave my deployment zone except for going towards the middle, and then I'm effectively immovable, and I'm gonna score 95 points. You know?
Well, I'm just going through my chat. I think they'll probably come out pretty well. The new stuff. I know someone was saying something about one of the, I think, Overrun or one of the new missions, encouraging you to have fast obsec. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
why that may be. I'm not sure.
Really
Um,
interesting. You heard it here first, folks. Fast obsec.
yeah, but take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You're not going to skew your list for one mission anyway. Um, no, very excited. I haven't seen the rest of GT 2022 other than what I got previewed at GW. Um, but I know there's some really cool stuff happening. I've heard some rumblings about you can only have one sub faction now, which I think is a really good change to the game. They're definitely trying to kill stooping.
Oh, so like Gene Stealer Colt can't take nids or vice versa kind of thing?
So Gene Slayer Cult is different. So the codex says literally says you can only have one sub faction, one cult. So that's in line with what's probably going to be out in GT
Oh, I see.
2022.
Interesting.
You can bring Tyranids as a soup option, but you lose the crossfire mechanic, which is way too much to give up. Unless you wanted to go a pure melee build and then bring some hive guard, but I don't really like that. But they have a special rule in the book that lets you take up to 500 points of Imperial Guard regiment units. So it can't be Scions or Psychers. They lose their regiment and then they get +2 leadership. I think that's something for like more fluffy kind of thing. If you're like, hey, I have a bunch of Lemon Russes hanging around, like I want to play them in my Gene Stealer Cult. It's pretty cool. I think the only competitive advantage that would give is if you wanted to bring like Manticores or something or Wyverns for indirect fire. But we'll see because once
aren't full payload manticores pretty good?
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
like
you
the.
can take full payload.
Oh, I see. Is that yeah? I don't know enough about the guard codex to really understand.
Yeah, so I think with GSC, I don't think you can take the regiment or the upgrades. I could be wrong, but I mean they're good. I just think the rest. I'd rather take pure GSC. I think it's overall better. But once Guard get a new book, and if they get some new cool tanks and stuff like that, then I could probably consider it later down the road. You said someone was mentioning something about Gene Stealers.
Yeah, so CJ, who is a guy who swings by all the time, he is a firefighter, and that's only relevant because he leaves the chat like kind of randomly as calls come in, but he gets to like paint at work. So, because while he's waiting for a call, he can do whatever he wants pretty much. So he kind of paints at work, and he was just saying he thinks he's gonna start painting his Gene Stealers at work, but he has them for Space Hulk, I guess. Which I said would probably make you sad, but
no, anything for the Four-Armed Emperor. No, that's cool. Space Hulk. That's like OG. I remember playing that back in the day.
yeah, man, that is like because wasn't so 40K was called Rogue Trader, right? It was like first edition. It wasn't
Yeah,
even called 40K or Warhammer.
I
Yeah.
think so.
My, how far we've come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Comparing model sculpts nowadays to like what they were.
Oh
Oh my
god,
god.
yeah. So crazy. Like folks will show me those like old Grey Knight Terminators and you can tell like they're like aren't they cool? Aren't they cool? And I'm like I guess. Like, maybe you have a nostalgic reason to like these things, but to me, they just look like kind of hunched over apes. And they look like they can't see very well. You know, like they can just see in a tube, like straight ahead of them.
Yeah.
I mean, not that.
Like,
Yeah.
that are just like people that have played the game forever. So yeah, you're right. It's the nostalgia thing. But for me, like, I want the newest updated sculpts, like
Oh.
without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the things that blew my mind. Like, everybody says the AOS sculpts are so great, and when I went to my buddy's place, like seeing those sculpts, they're not wrong.
No, not at all.
The AOS sculpts are amazing. They are so detailed, and they're so interesting. Like,
they
absolutely
so
impressive.
Yeah, they take so many liberties with like just how creative they can be, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's what I heard too. Is that they're allowed to do so much. Like they have more liberties to try new stuff. Where like when you're doing a new Primaris, like even if it's for, you know, if it's the new Black Templar like Blade Champion or whatever, that you still start with Primaris armor. You know, you don't get to play with scale, or like you get to play with like the accoutrement, right? Like all the crap like hanging off of their armor and maybe their pose, but that's like kind of it. Otherwise, you know, so they it sounds like the sculpt designers are on a tighter leash.
Yeah, maybe. So I don't know who told me this, and this may be completely wrong. So GW has the license for Lord of the Rings, right?
Yep.
So I heard that fantasy was killed because it was too similar to Lord of the Rings. And that's why I think when they rebranded and they came out with Age of Sigmar, all the models are just wild and crazy to, I guess, differentiate from Lord of the Rings. Not cannibalize their profits or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just what I heard. It could be completely off basis, but
yeah, I mean,
it kind of makes sense.
I don't know enough about either game to really say one way or the other, but it's possible.
Fantasy seemed cool. I remember like Lizardmen being super sweet.
Oh man, this is a little bit of a jump. What do you think about those like rumors we're gonna get squats back in the game, huh? Back in 40k?
I don't know what a squat is.
It's a dwarf. It's a space dwarf. So 40k used to have squats, I guess, like back in 3rd or whatever. And they I don't remember the exact timing. Someone in chat may know, but like when they were like renaming Eldar to not be space elves, you know, when they went from, you know, Dark Eldar and Eldar to like oh hey, thanks for swinging back by Jose, and we'll see you at the next one, dude. Anyway, when they were trying to get away from Eldari, the dwarves then, but I've only played for like 2 years, so I'm probably not the best 40k historian. Also, I've just fucked up that polearm real bad, but I'm not worried about it on one dude.
Happy little accidents, right?
Yeah, exactly. It actually doesn't look too bad, and once I hit that with white too, it'll probably look fine. Anyway, so I don't know, squats.
Dwarves.
Yeah, I like dwarves. They're like one of my favorite fantasy races. It kind of makes me sad that if I do ever play Age of Sigmar, that those 2 dwarf factions don't really interest me right now. Because there's the Caradon Overlords, which are like the steampunk dwarves that fly in blimps, and they're basically an all shooting army, but they're a short range shooting army. So it's not even like Tau, it's like Tau with an 18-inch range, and then they have like movement shenanigans, so like fall back after they shoot, or they can like climb back in their blimps and fly away. But I was told that that is an immensely like high skill floor army to do well with at all. Because you have to already know what all the other armies can possibly do, exactly what you can do, exactly when their weak points are, and like what every mission is. And if you know all that, then it's like a very competitive army. But if you don't have that knowledge, you get rolled basically.
I was told that they just get to redeploy anywhere on the battlefield all the time.
Yeah, it's called like fly high or whatever. Yeah, but so their blimps can like deep strike every single turn, and then they stay. But it's different than deep striking, where like what they do is they go back up at the end of their round, and then they come back down at the start of the next round. So you're basically not able to be shot, and I think each blimp can do that like once a game or something. So you need to space out exactly how you use that and when you use that. And anyway, it's like, I guess it's a really hard army to play. So, and then the other dwarf faction sounds awesome. They're slow. They just want to melee. They're called like the Fire Slayers or whatever. But the sculpts are kind of boring. Like they all kind of look the same. And then they're only wearing like armored diapers. Like they're all shirtless, like berserkers or whatever, and they're wearing just like pants and like iron diapers. And I was like, I don't really like these models. Army sounds really fun, but the models are just not interesting.
No, I think Fire Slayers won the GW finale open for the AOS side. And they're fine. I mean, they have cool little dragons, right?
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. I heard I don't know, somewhere, I think it may have been on Warcom, or I heard somewhere that the last army to be released with the new edition for AOS is going to be like Chaos Dwarves or something, or Chaos Dwarves are coming at some point. And that seems really cool. I would definitely be into some Chaos Dwarves.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be Clockwork Dwarves are the next ones coming out for, but maybe I don't know. Like they're so in the storyline. I'm trying to remember what Jeremy told me when I was over there, and I was like 6 beers deep. So it's probably isn't probably not the best source, but like the storyline in 3rd edition right now is they're trying to like awaken this other god of order, and it's like a clockwork invention god, and it's a dwarven god, and when they awaken these gods is when they usually release a new army. So there's a bunch of thoughts that when they awaken this clockwork god, that this clockwork dwarven army will come out. So basically they're all a bunch of robots, but they look like dwarves, like they're dwarven shaped.
That would be really cool.
I don't know about Chaos Dwarves, but that sounds totally cool too. Like, especially because like AOS is so melee heavy. You know? It's like Chaos Dwarves don't give a fuck. They're just gonna come like beat you to pulp.
Oh yeah.
They're like coming at you.
The most evil of dwarves. I think that would be cool. I can just picture the color scheme. You know, just like soot covered, like, you know, black skin or whatever, like orange hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like sigils and like runes engraved on their skin. Like, I think that'd be pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Do like the modeling side of things, for sure. I was looking at the Lumineth like Realm Lords. They look pretty cool. But they're like a huh?
I'm not a fan. I think they look dorky.
Oh, because they're all like thin elves or whatever?
No, they have like moose helmets and there's like minotaur elves and
Yeah, man. The Windseeker is a really cool model.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm just salty because I liked like the original high elves, and I wanted them to keep kind of that similar
Oh, I see.
vein. They don't feel very high elfy; they just feel like mountain elves, which is a cool concept. But that's not me. I've always been like Seraphon, like lizard people. Like that's my jam because
Yeah.
dinosaurs are cool.
Dinosaurs are cool. What was your favorite dinosaur growing up, man?
Oh, that's a $1 million question.
Is
It's
it?
such a cop out, but I mean the T Rex is
Don't
always
say
just
that's here. Oh man, you did. You said it. Mine was Ankylosaurus. Just a big old turtle tank that you can't kill, and then he'll beat you to death with a big mace of a tail.
interesting.
Yeah, man.
I feel like this
Ankylosaurus.
says a lot about someone's personality if they picked a carnivore or an herbivore.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Like, just wants to be left alone, but you can't hurt it. It's just a giant turtle with spikes, and then it's got a mace for a tail. So, I mean, if you break a carnivore's leg, it dies. You know?
This is very true.
I mean, I guess if you break an herbivore's leg, it dies too, but yeah.
We get the point. We're breaking legs here.
Yeah, someone's legs are getting broken.
Well, you should put some Seraphon together because they have ankylosaurs. I think they're called Bastiodons.
Yeah, I just don't.
Laser beam on their shell.
That's awesome. I just don't know if I don't know. Isn't that an expensive army to buy too?
Seraphon?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
No,
I have played one AOS game ever, man. I don't know.
No, you just get a couple big dinosaurs. Kind of seems like knights. Honestly, the new Croak model is sweet.
Oh, is that the guy in the like floating chair? Yeah, that's a fucking cool model for sure. The Night Haunt stuff is really cool too.
Yeah, it's just a bitch to build.
Oh yeah?
Absolute nightmare. Everything's just so spindly and like breakable.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I thought about getting into AOS a couple months ago, or getting back into it because they had the vampires release with like the werewolves and the blood, fun stuff. That looked pretty cool, but 40K is consuming me, so probably not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I bought a Caradon Overlord Battle Fleet back when I thought that's the army that I was gonna want to play, but I'm trying to like sell it now.
And just focus on 40K. I think it's a really, really good time to be into the hobby.
Yep, I think so too. It's crazy how like it seems to really have exploded even in, I mean, it was exploding when I joined too, but like I think it's still exploding.
Yeah,
you know? Just more and more people are getting into it.
Very much so.
I don't know what it is like. So I thought when they were originally gonna, so back before Warhammer Plus was announced, back when we knew they were gonna do like some TV shows, I thought they were gonna try to like market that towards more mainstream, you know, not stick it behind a like a subscription or whatever, as a way to like drum up interest in the hobby. Like, hey, what's this Warhammer thing? That was kind of a neat like TV show. Mm-hmm. And then, oh, there's a whole video, or there's a whole like board game. What's that about? Oh, okay, yeah. I'll buy some models. I thought that's what they were gonna do, but then they like stuck it behind Warhammer Plus, where it's only gonna be available to people who already like Warhammer and already know what it is and like know who the Blood Angels are. And I'm like, that's a weird business decision, right? Like, your company exists to sell models. drive people to go buy your fucking models. Unless this is some digital shift, which I highly doubt.
I haven't watched any of the stuff.
No,
they should have done it like Love, Death, Robots on Netflix or something like that, like little short clips and stuff like that, little 10 to 15-minute shows. And you're right. I mean, that would definitely would have drove interest. You know, people just sitting home watching Netflix. And they're like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah, that's what I thought they were gonna do. Like, I think that what is the show? Angels of Death. It's the Blood Angel show. I think those episodes are only like 10 minutes long, and there are only like 10 of them total. So, that's pretty much exactly what you're kind of saying, where it's like, oh yeah, hey, my wife's in the bathroom. I've got a few minutes to kill. Let's watch this Angels of Death thing. This looks neat. Oh, it's this Warhammer game. What's that? Google. Oh shit. There's a whole community but no, they didn't do any of that stuff, so.
Yeah, there's still time. Maybe they're just testing it out because this is all new to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that app, man, that 40K app.
We're gonna keep this positive. We're in some positive mindset stream.
Okay.
It hurts me to no end. But just get Henry Cavill on board. I mean,
yeah, I know, right? Except that guy's so popular now and busy. The amount of money that they'd have to throw at him, probably. I mean, maybe during lockdown they could have gotten him to do something, you know, for like really cheap, or, you know, because he does love the hobby. So he probably wouldn't like try to take his full fee or whatever. But like now he's so busy. He's supposed to like
I honestly think I mean, I'm not speaking for the guy, but I mean, it seems like he loves the hobby a lot. I'm sure he'd love if GW was like, "Hey, come out and we'll like play some games or something like that."
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He'd say no to that.
Yeah. That would be really, really cool and really, really smart of GW. I don't know. I know that they like on the London Stock Exchange, don't they make like money hand over fucking fist?
And I'm sure they're making a ton of money. No. It's not even about that. You wouldn't even have to get them on for a movie or a show. You could just be like, "Hey, here's a Twitch stream," and
yeah.
You know, play with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, no,
people would go crazy, dude.
I was backing up slightly, where I'm like, I don't know why they keep like why they don't do stuff like that. You know, it's like, yeah, I know they're making lots of money and they're doing well, but like the point of a business is to make money. So why wouldn't you make more money? Instead, it seems like they're making these decisions to spend money to not make money. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we'll make this really cool intro TV series, or a bunch of them, because there's like Hammer Bolter, and there's the new Tau one, and then there's Angels of Death, and it's like, but we're gonna stick it behind a subscription only, Warhammer only, you know, TV station that you have to stream. It's like, man.
Yeah. And most people I know like really just wait for this series to finish and then subscribe for like a month and just watch everything and then end it.
Yeah.
I know there's like an incentive. You subscribe for a year, you get a model or something.
Yeah. But the model is, I don't know. The orc one's cool. Oh. Go ahead, dude.
Oh no, you're good. I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh, I was gonna say the Vindicare model is actually very cool. Like, he's perched in that, you know, broken building and stuff. It's just like, it's cool. It's a nice centerpiece. It will look very good on your shelf. The Vindicare, the actual Vindicare model is tiny, super easy to paint, super easy to hide. Like, if you bring this tall, like 9-inch tall fucking model onto an actual board game, I guess maybe with more line of sight, but like, come on, it's it's like a centerpiece, but the orc one is like a usable giant hulking gargantuan model, and he looks really neat, and you could easily proxy him as like, well, probably not Gazgul, but like some, war boss or something. I don't know the orc codex that well either, so I'm just talking out of my ass now, but
yeah, I can't really comment on like what GW is doing on like that lines. Like I don't know what goes on behind the scenes and like, their decisions and stuff, but I know that this recent competitive event surge has been a huge success. Mike Brandt, I guess, kind of spearheaded that. There's a couple of people.
Yeah, Mike was a good thing.
Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park with these 3 opens, and then obviously culminating with the finale. But I mean, I was talking to a couple of them. They're just like, yeah, it's been the events have just been selling out, and it's really bringing in more people to the hobby. People coming in. I think they did Adepticon. Or they did some other major event, and they were telling me that they had sold like a couple $100,000 worth of models like within, like days from online purchases and stuff, which is awesome. It's what you want to hear. You want to hear like these people that go to these events that aren't necessarily 40K players see something and they're like, what would that do?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. I wasn't trying. Well, I was ragging on Games Workshop. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Like, don't sugarcoat
it. Yeah. I guess we should probably talk about the things that they are doing right.
Yeah. Well, we can continue to talk about how the app is terrible and it needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Well. Triggered. Yeah, in my professional viewpoint, it's barely usable.
Yeah, it's not, and it's frustrating because every time I do use it, I am subscribed to it because I give GW my money all the fucking time, like everyone here. But every time I go to use it, it makes me sign in or register, which pulls me into a different site, which pulls me to a login. And then half the time when I sign in, it doesn't even give me the content that I paid for, which is like the codexes I bought. It'll say locked.
Yeah, they're tied to your other account that you're now not registered as or whatever.
It's the same account. It just sometimes it doesn't recognize that it's been paid for, or it just doesn't.
That's awful.
So, that's frustrating.
Annoying. Yeah, that's frustrating for sure.
Because when I played the AOS app was fantastic.
Yeah,
you got access to the whole book on the app.
I'd heard that the AOS app was designed internally by people who work for Games Workshop. Like, they were hired to make that app. And I've heard nothing but good things. Like, I've never used it because I've played one game of AOS ever, and I didn't need to. But yeah, the 40K one, it was apparently made by a bunch of contractors, some other company that they contracted with to make it, and it did not. Yeah, I mean, we all know. I guess I can talk about other stuff now.
Yeah. I don't know. I finished my painting for the night, and I feel pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 more intercessors. I want to get the power weapons done on. It won't. Well, this color, I don't want to complete them all. That would be all night. But yeah. So, what are you looking forward to the most at LVO? Like, have you been to an LVO before?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Never been to LVO. It's gonna be my first one. I hear that it is the best of the events, where it's Vegas, and the event is also very well run. Yeah. So
better be.
I'm looking forward to
for what it Hopefully not dying. That's your goal. So you want to go like what? Like 7-1 or
7
what are your?
and 1.
Or I'm sorry. 8-1. Is it 9? It's 9 if you make it all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm only playing like 6 games, man. So I'll just follow you around on Sunday.
Well, that's the thing, man. I don't know if I even want to play on Sunday. I'm so torn. Like half of me wants, like, I know I can make Sunday. Like, I'm not super worried about that.
It's only top 8, isn't it?
Sunday's top 8. Yeah, I'm unless I run into like 2 or 3 people, I'm fairly confident I can make top 8. But it's like, do I want to? Like, I kind of on the fence. I kind of want to just enjoy some 40K games, not be stressed about it, and then drink and have fun with everybody.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, getting 6-0 requires you to, get some rest. Don't really do the partying.
I love that. That's what you're like. You're like, nah. I want to be drunk the whole weekend. Like,
which is very doable, but the thing is, I apparently hate myself because now I'm going to be taking the most complicated 40K army to the event, and it's going to be an upward of 105 to 145 models.
Well, you could always do one last hurrah with your Grey Knights.
I thought about it. Like a Silver Tide list will be, if you're well versed with it, can definitely 6-0.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I think you'd have a lot of fun with the like all infantry list. And
it feels so good.
And folks would not see that shit coming either. Because they're gonna open BCP and they're gonna be like, oh, fucking Grey Knights, can't wait to see some more Dread Knights. Oh, what the hell is that? Where are your Dread Knights? Oh no, I don't know how to play against this. What does that do? Oh shit, I don't understand any of this.
Oh yeah, exactly. When your 10-man squads are pulling down knights and stuff, people will get very visibly confused.
Yeah, man, I think that would be rad to like watch that go. But I know you love your Gene Stealers, so it would not surprise me if you did not take your Grey Knights.
And nobody's gonna know what the hell my army does.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You do have that same thing. Oh, you started to break up there.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, no one's gonna know what the hell the Gene Stealer cult's gonna do. No one's gonna have any reps against them. People don't pay attention to the Codex, right? It's one of the least popular books, I think.
And then once it starts to like do well, folks are gonna learn it real fast.
I don't think so. And my reasoning, I was talking to a couple people about this. One, it's the most expensive army in the game to put together.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even think their models are that good.
Take it back.
I mean, I know nobody owns them, so they don't make a lot of them, but like, I don't know. There's a whole body horror thing going on with them that I'm just really not into.
Yeah, I could see that part of the army, but like, I mean, how could you not like dirt bikes and Mad Max vehicles and like run down guard units? Like,
but you could just do orcs who are hilarious, and you can have the same thing. I mean, not the dirt bikes, I guess, but I guess they have. No, their new army of renown has like offset bikes and shit now, right?
Yeah, but they don't hold a candle because I think these Adelan Jackals are going to do some bad things to some bad people because they really push that model. They really push that data.
They are going. Yeah. They do have a lot of jank that the orcs don't have. Like, orcs are pretty one-dimensional. We're either gonna shoot you a ton or we're gonna like punch you a ton, and that's it. There's like not a whole lot of nuance to their At least their lore. There's not a lot to like their lore.
See, I like the darkness of the GSC lore. It just fills my dark soul of just this alien lands on a planet and then destabilizes the population by taking over people's minds and then creating offspring, which then create a revolution and a coup and just destroy infrastructure so that the Tyranids can land and consume the planet. I just think that is so cool. All the characters, just kind of this true dystopian feeling. I'm just on board with everything.
It's all a lie, though. They're just gonna get eaten too.
Well, they embrace it. They embrace it. It's food for the biomass.
I don't. Is that true? So I don't know their lore well, but at least so in Angels of Death, the show, it's Blood Angels versus the Gene Stealer cult, and when the patriarch finally arrives, it seems like the Magus and everybody are like, oh, our god is awakening finally, and we shall be, redeemed. And I don't think they realize what's happening. This isn't your god. This one patriarch is not your god. Right. Yes, it has 4 arms, but that's not why you're here.
No, exactly. But some of the cults, I think, escape.
Oh, you started to go all.
Start the process again.
So you said the cults escape or something?
Yeah, so some stragglers from the cults will escape via cargo ships and stuff like that, and then go to another planet and start insurrections.
Right
there.
Yeah.
So spreading. I just think that's super cool. It just feels really truly grim dark.
Yeah, that's
destroying oil refineries and shit like that.
Yeah. No, that's true. I actually I don't know if you played the game Space Hulk I'm sorry, Deathwing Space Hulk. But you play Dark Angels Terminators, blasting your way through a Space Hulk that's overwhelmed by gene stealers.
Gotcha.
So you gotta fight, lots of gene stealers, and then you got the I don't know, the aberrants, and you got the neophytes and stuff that you gotta kill, and then you kill patriarchs and all that jazz. All right, two more, and then I think I'll shut it down for the night. But I definitely hit a milestone here where, not that I don't have an army to run anyway, because I do have all my other models, but I wanted to get halberds on my interceptors, because I was running them with swords, and I think the halberds are just more consistent. I run swords on my strike squads, but that's because strike squads get hammer hand. So it's oh no, I'm gonna wound on 5s, re-rolling, which is equivalent to wounding on 4s. So whatever.
Yeah, I like the extra pip of AP. I feel like the meta has just kind of been yeah, we know how much AP Grey Knights have, so we're just gonna adjust accordingly. The strength 6 does matter pretty tremendously against Thick City.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But against something like Black Templars and stuff like that, you definitely want the AP3.
Well, any Space Marines, you want AP3. I mean, because being knocked to a fucking well, Black Templars are always gonna have a 5-up against you, right? I guess they can take the anti-psyker vows instead. Right? Isn't the 5-up invul one of their vows?
Yeah, I think maybe with Grimaldus or something like that. I should know. I played against them. They can. It matters. It basically cuts 33% of your mortal output away, but it's
That's the
still
5-up. Feel no pain, but like the 5-up invul. So like, no, I meant the their invul. No, it's 5. Thankfully, maybe Grimaldus or somebody gets you up to a 4-up, but yeah. Oh, and Jonathan is back.
Hola. Sorry, I was reading the leaks for the new Fire Dragons.
What's that? Fire Dragons?
Yeah.
What is that? AOS or what?
No. That's a Craft World Eldar aspect.
Oh, is there a new thing on Warhammer community or something?
No, I think this is coming from. I don't know where this is coming from. I just get texts and stuff all day. They have a fire pike, which is an 18-inch assault 1, strength 9, AP4, damage D6 plus 4 weapon.
Why? D6 plus 4?
Yeah.
Like, okay. I have so many questions. They're all game design related, and I'm very confused.
It looks like it's going to be like a 10-point upgrade for the squad. I think maybe one of them can have it. It'd be crazy if all of them can get it. It's only 18 inches. You have options to increase it. Yeah, I mean D6 plus 4, pretty good. I just don't think high damage is the name of the game in 9th edition right now.
Well, I mean, my whole thought is like, and again, I haven't played like 40K for very long, but if you go ahead and you just do, oh, nice, it went to the wrong. Anyway, if you just keep upping the damage and you keep like giving these massive amounts of damage, you're just gonna push everybody into like bringing 2 wound models as much as they possibly can, right? Because like if you got Dread Knights now, right, 13 wounds, you can easily railgun them or fire lance them or whatever that new thing is. Okay, now we shift to all infantry. It's like, yeah.
You definitely don't want to incentivize not taking an archetype such as vehicles. I would personally putting a Dreadnought on the table. I would rather see a Hammerhead than a unit that just put out 12 damage 3 shots, right?
Well, sure. I mean, I was being a little crazy there. I don't think I don't think the railgun thing is as bad as people are making it out to be necessarily. Depends on what else is in that codex. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Be much more scared of other stuff in the book than mass hammerheads. I would be shocked if you see more than one hammerhead in the list.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't mass them anyway because they're like the one transport that still have the rule of 3, so you can still only take 3. But yeah, Eldar anti-tank infantry. Yeah, I don't know. And then what about guard, right? Like guard are gonna get a codex eventually, but if there's all this D3 plus 6 and fucking D6 plus 4 damage out there, it's like, why put? You better make like, what is it, the Catachan really good, because everybody's just gonna bring infantry. You know what I mean? Like if a Lehman Rush just gets evaporated as soon as they lose like turn 1. That's a hard pill to swallow.
I would imagine so. So I think my understanding is guard is going to be the last codex.
Oh no! And then 6 months later we'll get 10th.
I have no clue, but I've heard that because they're going to be one of the last books, it's going to be Tyranids and Guard are going to be like the last 2 books. They're going to be really good. So
yeah.
I again, this is just all speculation. I've also heard Chaos Space Marines are supposed to be pretty good. They're getting like a ton of new models, so that's super cool. It's going to be interesting. I think seeing the Chaos Space Marine book is probably going to be the most interesting book because they're trying to get rid of Supin, which was Chaos's thing. Chaos wanted to bring like some fucking Thousand Suns, some Death Guard, some demon engines, some demons, and just bringing all the bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see kind of what direction they're gonna go.
How old are these comments? What? Oh, I think I did it on a low latency stream this time, so I don't know what you're seeing, Jonathan, but I see your comments. I was gonna react to them once Canon was done. He's saying if everybody goes all infantry for guard, and you face off against like all anti-tank, it's like it's gonna make conscripts really good because they're gonna fire, they'll kill like 1 4-point conscript and you're gonna be like, cool.
Yeah, good talk. Yeah, that railgun really messed that one guy up.
Yeah, that guy got fucked.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the name of the game in 9th edition has just been volume, right? It just statistically your averages line out better. So I was saying like 1 damage 12 weapon compared to 12 damage 2 weapons into a Dread Knight. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah.
The answer is always the more dice. So
I mean, mathematically, yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, it depends on what the AP is, but yeah. I mean,
there's obviously a lot more to it, but
yeah.
If you force someone to take enough saves, they will fail saves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why like I always shoot my storm bolters, because you're like, okay, like they moved, but they're not in half range. It's only 10 shots, and then I'm like, what the fuck am I saying? It's only 10 shots? Roll 10 dice. Let's go. Like,
dude, I have so many games where like I will like my opponent will make all their like armor saves against like my melta shots or whatever, but then I'll put like 12 stubber shots into something and just do like 10 damage or like 10 damage or 8 damage or something silly.
And they're like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a GT a while ago. It was Saltier Classic. I was playing one of my close friends. It was on Orcs. I was on Admech, and I remember all my Cognis last cannons like whiff. They did nothing like that. But I remember picking up like 4 or 5 of his vehicles with just all stubber shots, and he was so mad, and it was the funniest thing ever. We joke that's his weakness. His stubber.
Yeah, his weakness is storm bolters, his weakness is storm bolters and stubbers and bolt guns. Yeah.
The anti-tank doesn't matter. He'll ignore that. So
Jonathan says he's a guard lover. He's a guard player, and he's loving this. I'm in a few of these, by the way. So anyway, so how do you feel about that railgun, John? And then how do you feel knowing that the railgun isn't even going to be that big of a deal? Like the rest of that codex is gonna blow your mind.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's gonna give people nightmares from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna outshoot Tau. They play in 2 phases of the game: movement and shooting. That's it. You're not gonna take away one of those from Tau. So I don't know.
Well, they do in Overwatch, right?
It's true. Well, so we'll see. So right now, like, I've got a buddy that plays Tau, and he's actually been saying for a long time, like, he really hopes the 9th Ed Codex will remove the Overwatch from Tau. Like the like supporting Overwatch thing that they do, because all that really does is it incentivizes castling up, and you can't really win 9th if you castle up. If your whole army is in one corner of the board, you're losing the game. you can't grab objectives, you can't do like secondaries, so you know, like it he's hoping they remove all that stuff and force and give Tao tools to be able to actually play the mission.
Yeah, being decentralized and not relying on being a giant mobile castle, 100%,
which
a good way to go.
yeah,
Which is why the Gene Cult Codex is so good. You can fully decentralize your army. You take a Nexus, which is this 50-point character. He's got like a little planning board and a cell phone and stuff. And basically, you put him within 6 inches of other characters, and he can go and give those buffs to any unit on the battlefield.
Yeah,
which is the coolest thing in the book for sure. The strongest one of the strongest things, but that's cool because I'm bad with positioning like characters as far as like these are my 3 buffing characters. I'm gonna string them out between 3 units that I need to buff. I don't think that's fun. Just like sitting behind a rank of dudes is not like particularly interesting. I like my characters to do fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want them to do cool stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Here's some cool stuff. So there's a warlord trait that I'm taking. When you declare my warlord as a target of a charge, I just get to move 6 inches. And there's no caveats here. So if you charge him,
your internet
outside of the 12-inch range
cuts out.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. So yeah, if you're not within 6 inches of him, you can't even declare a charge. Basically, because you're just gonna move him.
Yeah.
Like if you're 9 inches away, you just scoot him back 4 inches, and now you can't even declare him.
Like, or you multi-charge. You charge him and another unit, and then now all of a sudden the patriarch's non-declarable, and now your charge just completely fails.
Yep. So you just whoop, 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 right out of there.
It's on the patriarch too, so that's definitely accurate. Zoidberg. Cool, man.
All right, dude. I know it's like midnight there, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, it's midnight. I think, what is it? We streamed for how long? 2 hours so far?
We are
3 hours.
Yeah. I guess we lost internet for a bit there because it says we're only on for 43 minutes, but that's not right.
We got on 9:30. So yeah. 2.5 hours, even though the streaming, and then I had like 5 hours today. So I've had a full workday of streaming between this and AOW. So
oh, all right,
cool, man. Well, thanks for having me back on. Hopefully the rest of your night's pretty cool. We definitely got to do this again.
Yeah, dude.
I'll have more stuff to paint.
Oh yeah, I'm just just getting ready for LVO. So hopefully I will see you before then. But if I don't,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, we'll see you before then. I definitely got to go over the player place train with you though.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were gonna. I wanted to talk to you about my plans for the various missions too, because I've kind of brainstormed some stuff and I want to see what you think. So
absolutely. Well, we don't even need to stream it. We can just do a little powwow one day, and I think it'll help you a ton. You feel so much better when you're prepared for an event.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, is that like I'll never feel prepared. Like I'll always be like, oh, I didn't think about X. Like even though I've got A through W, I haven't thought about X. I don't know. I'm probably
absolutely.
I'm probably like way overthinking things, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know for me, it's almost like getting into a fight. It's like no matter how much I prepare, I'm always nervous for the first round. But it's like, oh, now I'm, like it's like the equivalent of getting hit in the face, and now you're like, okay, so this isn't that bad, right?
Yeah,
and then
like
rounds 2 and 3 and 4, you're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Well, you're already hit, so let's. Yeah. No more ducking. Let's just go.
Just go. All right, cool, man.
All right, man. I will see you later. I'm gonna stay on and just do a little bit more, but I'll bounce probably the next half hour or so.
Okay. Don't have too much fun without me.
Oh, you know I won't.
All right, cool,
All right,
man.
man. Later. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed having Cannon on. He is a very well known player. He's been doing very well in 9th. Smart guy. So, he was rated like best overall by Games Workshop. So, guy knows what he's talking about. Unlike me, who cannot actually keep his model on screen to save his life. So, do me. Can't wait to see again. Are you having vision issues? I assume you're making fun of me and Cannon. That's all right. I don't blame you. Half of the reason I do these streams is for the shit talking anyway. So. Plus, I might as well have somebody to talk to while I do this painting. Yeah, I'm excited for LVO. I've got a coach now, and so he and I we're going over game plans for various missions. And oh yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. You think we were gonna close it down for the night? Yeah, I was thinking about it, but like, I don't know. Just got so much to do. Like, I'm gonna finish doing the whites, the white tips on these halberds, I think, and then I'll do all the interceptor pack glows tomorrow. Probably not on stream, but just tomorrow. So how long have you been playing, man? You're a guard player, but you're not attached to your Lehman Russes. It kind of, which is why like I would play guard personally. Like, who doesn't want World War One tanks, or at least World War One ish tanks? And there I go doing the interceptor prongs that I just said I wasn't gonna do, but I've already got the paint. Stop! My cat is drinking my paint water again. Loken! Stop! Paint! Stop! Stop. Silly boy. He's been sleeping the whole time. This whole... No, don't drink that. Stop. All the cats. I got 3 cats, and they will just like drink my paint water. I don't know what makes it so tasty. I don't know. Don't step in the paint. Don't bite my Dread Knight swords. Another bonus to magnetizing everything is you can just stop your cat from eating your swords. So you've been playing for 6 years. All right. So you got into it. What edition does that mean that you got it into it at? Then 7th? Ascendo 7th? Wish I was at the painting stage. Looks over at pile of shame. Oh yeah. Oh man. Back behind me. You can just make out here. I'll actually use my finger. But up here, you can just make out part of my pile of shame right here. So there's like 3 books right here, and then all of these are actually models. And my pile is not a pile. Like, I know a lot of people are in a way worse spot. And then I have like 1 unopened box of Grey Knight Strikes out in the garage. But that's it. So I've got an Adeptus Sororitas Rhino back when I was gonna do a Sisters Army. 2 Terminator boxes. A Storm Speeder that my dad bought me for Christmas. A Redemptor Dread. Some more Death Watch veterans. And 3 boxes of Space Marine bikers. So that's my pile, which is not a pile. So. Unpainted Warzone Atlanta terrain. What's Warzone Atlanta? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't hit any of those stages for a while, but I definitely remember I had friends that were into this hobby when I was younger, and there's no way I could have actually afforded it. So you have Warzone Atlanta terrain? Did you help like put it on, or did you just let them borrow your terrain, or is that an upcoming tournament? Or I don't think I've actually heard of Warzone Atlanta, but don't knock over my Terminators, Loken. Come on, man. You're just gonna be a menace now. You're gonna be a nightmare. Go lay it back down. Okay, or come. Yeah, sniff my super glue. That's a great idea. Best ruins out there, period. Tectonics craft. Took 2 months to get. Okay. Alright. Well, now I am intrigued. Terrain. Warzone Atlanta. Container stacks. Minor terrain pieces. Loken, you are being a butthole. Very cool. So yeah, I just 3D print all my stuff. I know that's not an option for a lot of people, but it has saved me a lot of money by being able to just 3D print. But these do look really nice. You can purchase it by clicking here. Gothic Ruins. Wow, that's not even bad. Holy crap. That's not bad at all. It's 30 bucks for a 3-layer, a 3-level 8.5 by 8.5 or 9 by 9. Yeah, that's pretty good. 9 by 9 by 10 inch. That's pretty. Wow, yeah, that's not bad at all. You got bundles here, so you can buy 1 table for 250 bucks. Eh. Been watching him stream since the start. Watch Warzone laid on a stream. Have area terrain built in and also have blast walls. Oh, so you can cover the windows if you want. You don't have to have them open. That's neat. It's actually really neat. Showcase level has additional components and line work to create a more detailed terrain piece. Huh. Yeah, if I knew about this when I started, I would have probably just bought my terrain. That's actually really cheap. Is it MDF or is it 3D printed? Is it like plastic cast or? Lucan, you're being a nightmare. Like all up in my lap. It's MDF. All right. Yeah. I don't think I've actually ever seen any MDF terrain. The RTT I've been to, it was all 3D printed as well. Because there's a bunch of the guys in the 40K group are also in like some 3D printing, like local 3D printing group. So they just kind of went in and went to town on. The cat is pulling the camera around. Wave high, Loken. Yeah. You're so little. Yeah, so they just went ham and 3D printed a bunch of stuff. I wish I'd actually gotten some more photos. I was really impressed with that tournament in general. I am sad that the one that was supposed to happen next week was canceled. For anyone who wants terrain, Death Ray Designs is the biggest, best bang for the buck. I searched a lot for ruins. Death Ray, huh? Look into that too. DeathRayDesigns.com. Bundles fantasy, modern, sci-fi. Killing ground. Wow, they've got a lot of sets. Nice. Space Elves. Rust Point. Oh yeah, wow. They're like $15 for. I mean, it's small ruins, but it's still ruins. It's Killing Grounds. Imperial Fire Base, Supply Drop, Mech Shop, Depot. Oh yeah, these are also yeah, very cool. I wonder if these are like all laser cut, huh? Probably. Bolt hole. Looks like a supposed to be like Fallout. Bam, I remembered. Like a vault. Fallout. This is really cool. X City. Yeah, man, I'm impressed. That's some good looking stuff. It's like when I started into this hobby and I started watching bat reps and stuff, I was always really impressed by the folks who went out of their way and like made like really awesome looking boards, you know. very thematic. But like I started buying like those aquarium plants and stuff because they're cheap on Amazon or wherever else, and they add like so much to a game table. Come on them all. There you go. Love the terrain and board the best. Yep. It does, like, I know they don't do that stuff at like tournaments, which is fine. You know, you gotta have no ambiguity, and you gotta, you know, when you have to throw up, you know, 40 tables really fast, you can't make every single like one of them look thematic and amazing like you're gonna stream on it. But man, I do love it when I get to play on those boards that do look like look that way. It really ups the game, especially when all the other armies and stuff are all well painted too. It looks nice. On some textured paper you can paste on to the MDF. Yeah, that's nice. That's actually a nice way to get around that. Like, you just do a little bit of like sticker work basically. 11. Just over the hump. Man, I'm really bad at this. Maybe I won't ever get better. I own so much paint. I don't know if you can see behind me. That's my paint. And it goes up another like row or two. But most of my paint right now is actually on my table. Because this is what I'm actively using on my Grey Knights right now. I don't even know how many this is now. $49 paints. That's all mostly on those guys back there. I've spent way too much time on those Dread Knights. But they're pretty. Probably the best paint jobs I've done so far are on those 3 Dread Knights back there. I'm quite happy with them overall. There's no way I could spend that much time on every model in my whole army though. There's just no way. I got too much. You literally can't afford paint yet because you bought too many models. That's hilarious. I don't know if they're a pleasure to play with yet because I just finished them. Like, my paint skills, and maybe you'll run into this as well, but like, my painting skills increased markably. Like, you know, anytime you try any new skill, oh damn, anytime you try any new skill, right, like those first couple of skill ups, if you will, are like pretty fast. And so one of these guys, I think it was actually this guy, his paint job was so bad, or at least I thought so, that I actually stripped him entirely. With I left him in a bath of simple green overnight, and then I scrubbed him with a toothbrush to get off almost all the paint, so he's back down to like bare plastic, and I repainted him entirely, because he was one that I painted months and months and months ago, and the paint level, just like when I compared him to this guy who I had started painting at the time, like he looked like ass. He looked terrible. Like this guy's got a 3-tone base coat from like the top and the bottom, and then the base coated, and then like shaded and highlighted. I used new paint colors I liked a lot more. I was less liberal with my washes, and he just looked so much better that I didn't want to have them on the board at the same time. So I completely repainted him. And then after I did that guy, or started to, I actually did it with him as well. For the same reason. I just didn't like his paint job anymore, so I completely repainted him. Yeah. So needs more highlights. Actually, can you see the highlights I used? So this is Mephiston red with Blood Angels red over the top, and then it's highlighted with Evil's Sun Scarlet. But maybe it's not a bright enough red. I don't know. You can see it. The white, I actually made that mistake, and I thought about it way too late. But I was like, I should have actually painted in a light gray, and then I could have highlighted in white. But now, what am I gonna highlight with? A darker color? I think that just might look weird. But have a great night, Jonathan. Thanks for swinging by, man. I'm almost out as well, so yeah, I mean, like, painting is like any other skill, so you're gonna get better, and we're always our like worst critic too, so you know, I'm sure I could have played with that Dread Knight and nobody would have ever cared. No one would have ever said anything. Because even my old work, more than, you know, was way more than what a lot of people do, which is the bare minimum. But it wasn't enough for me. That's what matters. Hi, Loken, there's a cat right here. Gonna go eat my paints. Don't actually eat the paints, Loken. Oh my gosh, he's unstoppable right now. You're being really rude. Alright, buddy. I'm almost done. Then we can play, okay? My animals, man. Yeah. It's actually Loken, like Garviel Loken from the Horus Heresy books, but yeah, he is trying to eat everything. It's true. It's a real pain in the butt. But he's, I mean, he's like, you know, It's like 3 months old, 4 months old. Yeah, he's probably about 4 months old by now. Very young kitty. So everything is a toy right now. Especially things that aren't actually toys. Oh, yeah, thanks. My wife, she got to name the last cat, so I made a deal that I get to name the next cat. And so now my wife will never play Warhammer ever, but she has actually read the first few books in uh the the Horus Heresy, so she definitely got it and is completely cool with it. So although I've had to tell pretty much everyone ever that no, it's not Logan, it's Lokin, but you know, I kind of expected that, so no surprises here. Yeah, he's not named after Wolverine. Oh man. All right, I'm down to the last squad. Got 5 dudes left. I can call it for the night. So what armies have you bought then? You said you've bought a lot of... Oh, okay. So you're gonna bounce. All right. Whew. Thank you very much for the kind words, man. I assume you're playing Grey Knights, but I don't want to assume because, you know, ask you, me, blah, blah, blah. So I'll catch you at the next one, dude. Thanks for swinging by. Do. Man, the intercept. I am so glad that interceptors are good in the new book. Like, the model is cool, the lore is cool. And when I had mine for 8th and I put them on the table, I was so underwhelmed. Dark Angels, good call. I actually keep eyeballing Dark Angels as my next army, so not that I should do that. I still have like so much Death Watch to paint. Yeah, man, and they're just a really cool army that's just like, I love the whole immovable object kind of play style too. So hell yeah, man, 30 Terminators is a great start. Also, aren't those like cool Terminator models? They've got like robes and stuff. Oh, so neat. Huge fan, huge fan. Only be wounded on 4, stand in 1 spot, earn 15 points. Love it. be more careful with my dry brushing brushes. I'm really being rude to this brush. I need to stipple. Hell yeah, man, you're supposed to do that. That's I mean, like, basing it around stubborn defiance and oath of moment. That makes sense. Like, that's what that army's really good at. You should totally do that. It's like saying you're gonna make a Grey Knight list and not use Purifying Ritual. I mean, come on. Of course you're gonna use Purifying Ritual. No, except in very limited cases are you not gonna use Purifying Ritual. Hi, Loken. That's my leg. You can stop clawing it now. It's still my leg. Thank you. Stipple. Stipple. No. Stipple. There we go. Salvaged it. Look at me. Looking. Can you make it through one more model? Come here, you little monster. Don't pull the power cord for the camera. Come here. So feisty. Oh yeah, oh man, I'm so jealous of the prime or all of the chaplains with the +2 charge litany that Grey Knights can't get for some reason. So sad by that. I would love to have that +2 to charge. Get 10. Alright, let's try this again. Go play with your sister. Tech Marina is Obsec, Heals of Dread. Yep, that's a play style I'm used to with Grey Knights and Deathwatch. Dread Knight Castle. Oh, Dreadnought Castle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, have you built them and played with them, and you just like haven't painted them yet, or what? It sounds like you know how to play the game. Oh no, did it again. Too much paint. But you said you don't have any paint yet, so. You won a 3,000 point game? Oh man, how long did that take? But shit, that just took forever. 3,000 points. So an average game is supposed to take 3 hours. When I'm playing with my friends, it really takes 4.5, and that's for a 2K game. So if you add, so 6 hours? Six to 7, I would think, with my friends playing. Three thousand points though. That's really cool. Because that effectively allows you to take like. Very cool. Did you do the whole -1 to wound, +1 damage, get shot by 6 goddamn Dread Knights thing, or? That's a lot of shooting. My my buddy Levi, who is in this chat every now and then, he runs a Iron Warriors list that includes a Greater Brass Scorpion, which is a Titanic demon engine that I think is like 525 points, and this is his 2,000 point list, by the way. Thing is like 28 wounds. It's immune to psychic abilities that do damage to it. or it's not immune, but it gets basically a 4-up deny shrug, if that makes sense. So if you target it with like smite, regardless of what you roll, if he rolls a 4-up on one die, he just doesn't take it. So it's actually kind of a nightmare for Grey Knights. And then we got our book, and now I think the most it's ever lived is turn 1 I whiffed some of my shots and it was only on 2 wounds. Oh, here's Norm. Norm is going with me to LVO. He'll be playing Nids like a sucker. Man Terminator blood with the See, that's kind of neat. Like a 3K game lets you bring some fun stuff, you know? Like you just don't, you can't bring more interceptors, you can't bring more Dread Knights. I mean, you could bring 1 or 2 more if you really wanted to squeeze them in there, but like, why would you when you can bring other fun stuff? Like Paladins and Terminators. That's awesome, man. What were your brotherhoods? And did you take 2 or 3? I guess we'll know when you answer me, obviously. Yeah, I'm cleaning up now, guys. I did the interceptor backpacks and the force weapons on 20 interceptors today, so I still have to go back and edge highlight the weapons, but this is basically what I did on 20 interceptors. So so Monument Hobbies has made some of the best brushes I've ever used. I just bought this dry brush and it's also very nice. Let's see if I can actually get it back in the brush protector though, not messing it up. Not a lot of no. So 3K games for the size? I don't think it is in the rule book. I think that's up to you guys as players to decide how big you want your 3K game to be. If you want it on a 4x8 or what, or 4x6, or I feel like on a standard, was it what's the standard size right now? 40 by 60. So no, 44 by 6 by 6 by 60. I feel like it would be way too small. That's a good question. Let's see. Let me go. Let's see. Actually, I'll just open Battle Scribe and I will look there. So the battle size goes up to Onslaught, which is 3,000, or Onslaught plus, which is 3,001 plus points. But Onslaught is 2,000 to 3,000 points. Yeah. 60 by 44. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably. Yeah. Too small. I agree. Should probably do the 8th ed boards at the very least. IMO. Hey. My wife will be happy to know I got it in. Stupid little thing is a little too small, but You can quote me on that because I said it. Still got so much to do for LVO. Oh, I don't have it listed in Battlescribe. Let me check Wahapedia real quick. And I'll let you know. That's where I went originally, and then I realized it was probably gonna take me way too long to actually find the answer. Alright, match play, narrative play. Eternal War mission pack for match play. They actually do have Onslaught missions. That's neat. Okay, so Onslaught is supposed to be on 44 by 90, it says. Yeah. So Combat Patrol is 44 by 30, Strike Force is 44 by 60, and Onslaught is 44 by 90. What does an Onslaught mission look like? Here, let's switch over to web browser, even though it's going to mess up my... Yeah, it's using the wrong camera, but that's alright. Yeah, here you go. This is what an Onslaught mission looks like. So this board is so big that these are actually 18 inches apart, and it still looks like they're not that far apart. It's crazy. Control 2 or more. This one's probably control 1 or more. Oh no. This one's control 2 or more. Interesting. Secondary, search for the portal. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, 90 inches, so 72 is 6 feet. So 84 is 7 feet, so 7.5 feet. Right, 90 divided by 12 is 7.5. Bam! It did it, Reddit. What a smarty boy. Sometimes. So you had a battalion of SB. SB? Silverblades? Really? Huh, okay. 4 dreads. It took me so long to actually think about that. The dreadnought was Pooh. Tech, Pro Cap. And then you did, yeah, the Prescient Brethren. Hell yeah. That's nice. I love the Prescient Brethren. Their Warlord trait is good. Their stratagem is really good. And their power is, I don't know. It'd be way better if it was 18-inch range, but it's 12-inch range, so it's not that great. But in the Grey Knight's Codex, that seems to be the way things worked out, is of the 3 things that we got, the stratagem and the power and the Warlord trait, 2 out of the 3 were good for every or for most of the Brotherhood. Sword Bearers. Alright, SB. Yeah. The other SB. Man, what does building an Onslaught list even look like? Let's see 3,000 points and find out. Guess you start with a battalion. All right, so it goes the same exact way. There isn't anything else special, right? Like you're still stuck with the rule of 3 and stuff like that, right? So not even worth pulling this up, really. You respec all the Terminators over the game. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had my mic muted by accident. Um, anyway, I think I'm gonna call it for the night. Thank you everybody for swinging by. I've been on for like almost 3 hours now, so I'm gonna go to bed. I need to. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but yeah, I usually am in bed in about 40 minutes from now, so I gotta feed all the animals and all that jazz. So I will see you all later. I still have plenty to do before LVO. I still want to do a video about my LVO list. I want to still want to talk to folks about the ways, like things that I think Games Workshop could have done to make the Grey Knights Brotherhoods more interesting. I got a lot that I still want wants to do. So, oh, and I'm already in discussions with Stuart Trainer to have him back on this, the channel. He just won an RTT, in Australia with, a nearly all power armors Grey Knight's list. He only had one Grandmaster Dread Knight. Thank you again, everybody, for swinging by. And Kippy, if you want, throw your list into Pastebin. Stick it on the Grey Knights Discord. If you're not already in there, there's a link in the description down below. So with that, I'm out of here. Good night.